This is SuConTV Unlimited with Star, the #1 self-development YouTube channel that provides knowledge and wisdom necessary to live in the world. We prepared a very special video today. In this video, we would like to tell all of you about the consistent and reasoned life of SuperIcon CEO Kwang over the past decades of sweat and tears. Through this, we sincerely hope that everyone around the world who is watching this video gains wisdom and insight into one's precious life and the world to come, which is completely different from the present, achieves one's dream in a turbulent era, and becomes the protagonist who changed myself, ourselves, and the world to shine. Of course, this video, in this regard, contains new and innovative methods that were not in the world and important messages. Once again, we sincerely hope that all of you will become the protagonists who change myself, ourselves, and the world to shine. Furthermore, all good and conscious people around the world will advance a better life and a better world with SuperIcon. This video is never to brag about JK, and you will know all the reasons if you watch it until the end. JK was born and raised in a poor but ordinary family in Pohang, where you can see the brilliant sunrise of Korea. After graduating from Post-Tech several decades ago, JK worked for a while at LGCNS as his first job, then moved to POSCO ICT, and managed the first in-house venture. But JK quit halfway due to the lack of preparation and experience. From this point on, JK started thinking about why to live, how to succeed and be happy, and so on very seriously. Eventually, these concerns are extended to the cause of setting the standard in life. From the perspective of modern business administration, JK thoroughly analyzes what strengths and weaknesses he has and what opportunities and threats there are externally. In other words, JK had a passion for work, the strength of possessing IT expertise, and opportunities such as the venture boom and support activation, but JK lacked management knowledge and business experience. And there were also threats of global economic fluctuations. In a word, JK himself thought he knew nothing. Based on this SWOT analysis, JK is determined to start all over again. In other words, JK pledges to build a life-value house like the Pantheon in Rome, which does not collapse even after 2,000 years. First, JK establishes a new mission and vision to lay the solid cornerstones of life. Because Big Dream looked good, very grandiosely JK decided to contribute to making a better life and a better world by establishing the world's best company and the university of the world and nurturing creative convergence global leaders in the 21st century. At the time, it was really reckless. But nothing in the world is impossible. JK wanted to show that he could do it, even though he lacked ability. In order to achieve this mission and vision, JK writes my credo, which is the code of conducts and core values, and carry it with him at all times, and embody it. As expected, writing had power. JK, who had lacked confidence until then, actually began to change gradually. Of course, JK checks and revises the Life Blue Ocean strategy from time to time, based on strategic thinking about what to add or subtract, what to start anew and what not to do, depending on internal and external circumstances. To summarize what JK has done so far, in the first step, he establishes his mission and vision, and firmly lays the cornerstones of his life by setting such as his own credo, and so on. Next, JK makes various efforts to build the unshakable pillars of life. First, health. Whatever we do, we may need to be healthy. So, JK exercised consistently for his physical health and did not neglect to meditate for his mental health. Activities that strengthen the pillars of life are always fun. Second, wealth. In a capitalist society, we can't do anything without money. So, JK made his dream come true by doing 2 jobs. JK went to work during the day and almost lived in the library at night. JK has been doing that for decades. Of course, there were many ups and downs, that cannot be put into words, but JK persevered, looking ahead. Third, reading. No matter how strong our health and wealth are, life can collapse in a moment without insight into life and the world. But insight comes from reading. So JK has read thousands of books in various fields, such as self-development, business, economics, history, philosophy, religion, and science, and so on. Of course, JK is still reading various books. Reading has transformed a fearful world into a world full of curiosity. Fourth, networking. In a society where the world is connected as one these days, there is very little we can do alone. So, JK met and covered many people. While working as a reporter for many years, and JK made a wide range of human networks at home and abroad, through SNS, and various activities, and so on. In other words, JK is making luck through networking and creating a world where we all can succeed together. Finally, language. In the era of globalization, foreign language and speaking skills are very important. So, JK focused on studying foreign languages such as English and attended speech academies, where he learned how to speak and communicate. Actually, JK lacked foreign language skills and he couldn't speak well in front of others. But JK has made a lot of efforts to overcome it and he is still trying. To summarize what JK has done so far, in the second step, he firmly built the pillars of his life, such as health, wealth, reading, networking, and language, without being shaken. Of course, there are small pleasures of life in these activities. So, JK plans to keep doing them for the rest of his life. Since JK has laid the cornerstones and strengthened the pillars of his life, it is time to build the unique and special house of life, such as making achievements through work and finding the meaning of life. In order to develop unique core competencies, JK first earns an MBA degree from the University of Melbourne through Universitas 21, a network of prestigious universities around the world, and takes various online courses at Harvard Extension School, Stanford University, INSEAD, and so on to cultivate differential expertise. Based on this differential knowledge as unique core competencies, JK makes careful planning, such as separate plans during and after work hours, 6 things to do per day, and hourly plans every day. Then, based on careful planning, JK steadfastly looks long-term and does not give up, but boldly takes action. Of course, JK has modified the plan properly, depending on the circumstances. As a result, excellent achievements have begun to emerge one after another, such as publishing innovative books that could be considered the world's first and best. Furthermore, JK held the Kwang's book concert, which is named after himself. Because of the excellent achievements, the promotion was carried out effectively, and JK was introduced to the media and broadcast, and received various. JK couldn't be satisfied with the small achievements, so he ran the Super Self-Management MBA course and published various English books. Also, JK held the book festival that was unprecedented in the world in Seoul. Furthermore, JK is continuously making efforts by establishing and operating SuperIcon, the AI self-development SNS platform, and SuConTV Unlimited, the #1 self-development YouTube channel. To summarize what JK has done so far, in the third step, he has decorated the interior of the Special Life House brilliantly by building unique core competencies. Of course, JK is creating innovative achievements and meaning of life through this differential work. Based on these consistent and reasonable efforts over the past few decades, JK plans to complete the Sustainable Life Value House by practicing love through various social contribution activities, such as establishing and operating C&L Group and SuCon Scholarship Foundation. In addition, JK is doing his best to grow SuperIcon into the Life platform and the University of the World for people around the world, with the SuperIcon Family Club. Through this, JK wants to advance the world where ordinary and good people can succeed and be happy. To summarize what JK has done so far, in the last fourth step, he is doing his best to grow SuperIcon into the life platform and the university of the world. For people around the world with STAR, the SuperIcon Family Club, by establishing and operating C&L Group and SuCon Scholarship Foundation. Through this, JK is completing the Sustainable Life Value House by dedicating himself to advancing a world where ordinary and good people can succeed and be happy. To summarize his achievements so far once again, first, JK has completed the frame that changes myself. This is the process of building his own life value house. It's also the process he has been living for the past few decades. In fact, it's very difficult to change myself. However, the frame that changes myself has the magic to change even ordinary people into great people. Second, JK has completed the frame that changes ourselves. Changing ourselves is a piece of cake if you have changed yourself to shine. That's because you just need to know the basic laws. It is the fact that the laws of physics are the laws of human relations. So, the moment we realize that the laws of physics proposed by physicists, such as Newton and Einstein, apply to human relations as well, we can all change ourselves. Third, JK has completed the frame that changes the world. Furthermore, JK has laid the foundation for the life platform and the university of the world. In other words, by running Super Self-Management MBA course and life consulting, holding an education culture festival, running SuConTV, the self-development YouTube channel, and SuperIcon, the AI self-development SNS platform. JK completed the frame that can change the world with STAR. This is the most perfect frame that changes myself, ourselves, and the world. It is truly innovation itself. Once again, all of these things are never meant to boast about JK. But it was an extremely lonely and arduous process of sweat and tears that started from setting the standard in his own life and eventually expanded to the achievement of setting the standard of human life around the world. Now, it's your turn. As we wrap up this video, once again, we sincerely hope that all good and conscious people around the world become the protagonists who change myself, ourselves, and the world to shine and advance a better life and a better world with SuperIcon by joining the STAR, the SuperIcon Family Club. Thank you.